Conley and Kurt Edwards.
From Bob Enzweiler Field at Harbor High School, welcome to the beginning of our 14th season of the TCI Channel 3 Sports Game of the Week. This afternoon, a Santa Cruz Coast Athletic League football game. Two teams headed in different directions. Aptos 3 up, Harbor 3 down. And we're ready for the first play from scrimmage as we just broke from the network in that Archie Bunker rerun in time to bring you the opening of this Harbor High School Aptos football game. Aptos 3-0, Harbor 0-3. More on that in just a moment. The first play from scrimmage is in the books. It's an incomplete pass. And we'll go to second down and 10. Hello again, everyone. I'm Jeff Conley. Kurt Edwards is with me for his 11th season behind the TCI microphone, and who believes that the directions of these two teams will continue going in the same way, or do you think there could be a reversal here today?
Well, as far as the season is concerned, they'll continue to go in the way that they've already started. But as far as Harbor is concerned, they're in a rebuilding year. They've got their third coach in as many seasons, and he's Ron Maheron coming over from Santa Cruz. So he's got a rebuilding program in front of him.
Keep the ball on the ground. Number 24, Ryan Stevens, gets the carry. Stevens comes into this game with an average of 7.8 yards per carry. He's got 3 touchdowns this year. We'll see a lot of him, Kurt. We'll see a lot of Gabe Harrow, number 34. They seem to be the main offensive forces of the Aptos Mariners. We have Jason Simpson at the helm, who hasn't been bad. He's thrown the ball 17 times, completed 12, or 13.5 average. He's even in interceptions and TDs with 2 apiece. So on a 3rd and 7, the Mariners snap it, and the handoff goes to Harrow. Harrow rolls very close to the first down. His feet are way over the first down. The spot looks like it will be the first down, and it is Harrow and Stevens who do the work on offense for this team.
They're the ponies. They're the big horses that Aptos brings to it, and you're right. Aptos will run the ball probably 8 out of every 10 offensive downs. They throw it very infrequently, and that's been Bill Garrison's forte ever since he's come to the Mariners many years ago, is run, and then run it again. Everybody remembers All's House? He seemed like he had the ball just about every time there was a play.
So here's Simpson now, giving it to Stevens. Oh my, nobody even near him for the first 15 yards of that 18-yard run. And it'll be a first down for Aptos. This could be a difficult afternoon for the Pirates, decimated in their team for a variety of reasons. There's been a regime change here. Ron Maheron has moved over from Santa Cruz High School to be the Harbor head coach. Bill Garrison, I guess, has been at Aptos now for about 7 years.
Yes, he's been there, and he just does a fine job of getting his people ready to go. Dustin Ross was on the tackle, but line of scrimmage is going to be the key for this game. If Harbor can get some kind of backbone in that line of scrimmage, they'll be okay.
Nobody even near him again. Stevens nearly running for the first down on first down from the 40. It'll be second down and about 3 from the 34.
Aptos running, Powers going left, going right, using Stevens for the most part, and he's done a great job of following his blockers. His on that play was a little slow. The guards got out and just wiped away the green-shirted Harbor Pirates. Down the field went Stevens for the big game.
Just underway in the first quarter. 9.5 minutes left in the quarter. The Mariners keep it on the ground, and why not? Gabe Harrow with another carry. He's been their leading carrier this season. And that is another Aptos first down.
You know, Gabe kind of reminds me a little of Noah Hall, that big running back that the Mariners had for a while, and he's with Montreal Expos in their farm club somewhere down there in the bushes, but straight ahead runner, uses his legs, leans forward, and picks his holes very well. Lines up in that fullback position right behind Simpson.
Ryan Van Kosthoven goes wide right. They just give the ball again to Gabe the Horse Harrow, who piles it across the 25, and it'll be second down and a short 5 for the first.
Mariner offensive front just gets off the ball so quick. They just boom right into it. Their center number 64, Ricardo Martinez, 5'10", 270 pounds, is very quick, comes off it and just racks, does a nice job. Now he's a guard. They got a bigger guy at center.
Jason Simpson with the signals. Harrow again. Harrow breaking to the outside. Missed tackle there. Turns it upfield. He's at the 10. He's inside the 10. He's still a foot. Flag goes down on the far side. But gave Harrow with another powerful run from scrimmage. The offensive line of the Mariners is opening it up early, and the runners Stevens and Harrow are making the most of it on their own after that.
That offensive front, the flag on the field is going to be an illegal block against the Mariners, blocking below the waist downfield, and I think it was number 16,
15 yards,
Simpson, who was down there trying to help Harrow get into that end zone. Almost did it, but the block he threw was not quite legal. But I'm watching that offensive front from the Mariners. They get off the ball very quick. Joel Church Cooper, number 75, one of them. He stands in, looks like he might be the center. He's just a big horse of a kid. 6'5", 255 pounds. This almost sounds like the Notre Dame line. These are some big kids. You remember that San Lorenzo Valley line that we had a couple years ago?
Getting bigger all the time. That penalty, Kurt, takes that great gain away from Harrow and moves the ball all the way back to the 30, where it'll be second down and almost 11.
And maybe that's a momentum break that the Harbor Pirates are going to turn into something here. But that offensive front is tough.
Somebody's not going to like looking themselves on the block in that film. Here's Stevens now. It's Moot, no problem. Stevens, plenty of room all the way down inside the 10, close to the 5. First down, Aptos.
You know, if it's not Harrow, number 34, it's Stevens, number 24, left, right. And that time Stevens did a nice job going off the left tackle. And he is just very quick as the guards were able to get into that one, the line, take him out, and then down goes Stevens all the way down. And it is, you know, it's a treat to watch an offense in operation. It really is fun. Not if you're the defense, though.
So from the 8, it's goal to go on first down. Here's Harrow picking his way. Gets tackled. Good pursuit there. Number 89, Lava Safiari.
Safiari did a great job from his defensive end position on the right side, fighting off the block, staying flat to the line of scrimmage with his shoulder pads and taking on the running back, not allowing him to turn inside or outside. He did very well, did a good job of tackling. And as you can envision, tackling is so very...
Intended for number, who is that? Number 88, 86, number 86.
Mike Flores.
Brian Nosier or Mike Flores. It looks like 86. They got two of them listed here. That's 85, 86. It would be Flores, Mike Flores. I believe that other number is 85.
And was also in there. Simpson on a rollout did a nice job. His offensive line broke out, gave him a lot of time, but he really racked up his receivers. He threw that ball a little bit too high, and the receiver paid the price of getting a shoulder pad right in the middle of the back.
So the Pirates defense stiffening here just a little bit. It's third down and goal now from the 8. And this time they give it to Stevens. He has a little bit more room. He darts through and dives across and scores the touchdown for the Mariners. 6-0 Aptos.
Slow, methodical march down the field go the Mariners, and a nice block by number 82, Ryan. I'm just going to call him VK because I asked how he pronounced his name. He said, Coach, just call me VK. It's a lot easier to do it that way. He was out there leading the charge on the block to allow Stevens just to crawl on into the end zone. Also, great job by that offensive front to get out in front and lead the parade on in.
So the extra point now will be attempted by Maurice Celestine, who misses it wide right. And the score with 6:54 left in the first quarter is Aptos 6 and the Harbor Pirates nothing.
You have to be impressed by the size and the quickness of that Aptos offensive front. We listed off some of the weights, 255, 270. Brian Kalis, number 70, comes in at 240. There's some big horses up there, and right now they're getting the shoulder pads up underneath the defender's shoulder pads and just getting them right out of the way. Shout out to the Aptos Mariners cheerleaders. One of the things that's fun for me, Jeff, when we come to these high school games, basketball or football, is to watch the energy that the Yell squads have. They're just nothing but nonstop energy.
Well, Hemingway always said, tell them what the weather was. It's very, very warm out here this afternoon, but there is a bit of a wind, and every so often it'll kick up the dust off the dry hills here along the side of the football and put out, along the side of the football field and put out A little bit of a dust storm makes it rather interesting down in the field and for the fans across the way. But it is very warm, the sun very bright as Celestine kicks off. Taken by Marcus Chavez, who cuts to the left side, gets it up across the 15 where he's knocked down, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Pirates on their first possession from the 15.
That was a great boot by Celestine. He really got a lot of foot into that one. And one of the best weapons you can have on your kickoff team is obviously your kicker. How far can that ball go? Brian Vaughn, number 42, was in on the tackle, knocking Chavez down, who will crawl back to his duties. He's going to be the quarterback this afternoon for the Harbor Pirates.
So down over the ball comes the center, number 60, Keith Chaponi. And handoff goes to Baj Rai. Rai gets a couple.
Aptos in a basic 50 defense, 3 down defensive linemen, 2 defensive ends outside. They could be up or down. Linebackers in the center, and the coverage is going to be very between man on man. They'll roll through that one. And it's a tough coverage. Carlos Torres, number 2, one of the deep backs for the Mariners. David Steele, number 28, the 2 safeties. And they're quick, they're fast, so it's going to be tough to throw the ball over the top of them.
Marcus Chavez, the kicker, is also the quarterback this afternoon for the Pirates. Quick handoff. Easily read, easily snapped by number 74, Tyler Burke of the Mariners.
That offensive line by Harbor did a pretty good job initially getting into the defensive front by the Mariners, but then here came the cavalry for Aptos as the linebackers were able to step up and really plug those holes very quickly.
So it'll be 3rd down and 9. Pirates have managed a yard here in 2 plays. Wide right comes Josh Wright, number 8. Chavez looks things over. The Pirates are ready. Wright goes in motion. Chavez rolls right. Under pursuit. Lets it fire. Completion. Caught by Tony Oscar, number 82. And the Pirates have a 1st down on a very good-looking play.
Well-executed play by the Pirates. A little rollout to the right by Chavez. Did a nice job of looking down the field. Oscar, number 82, released from his tight. You can see him set up. Releases in, sets down. Nice completion right there in the center of that Aptos zone. Found the hole in the donut. Makes the completion for the 1st down.
Where are you seeing all that stuff?
I'm right here on the TV.
Okay. Chavez gives it to Baj Rai. Rai can't get back to the line, and it'll be a loss of a yard and 2nd and 11.
Good pursuit, inside pursuit by the Aptos Mariners. Brandon Howard, number 33, stepped across the line of scrimmage and chased down Rai. Didn't let him even get across the line of scrimmage. That's those linebackers that if they can get through and into that offensive backfield, they can create all kinds of havoc.
On 2nd and 11. From their own 33, firing to Wright. Wright makes the catch and pays full price as he's immediately crushed by Mike Flory.
I think Wright might have made the wrong decision on making that catch because he backed him up another couple of yards. If he just knocked it down, you still had 3rd down. But it would have been 3rd down and 11. Now they backed it up about 2 more yards. So Wright was wrong in making that catch. And part of that reason, again, is that good defensive pursuit that Aptos brings to the table. Number 86, Mike Flores, is a corner on this side of the field, the near side, as we're looking out at the action. And he covers Wright.
Austin Mills is your corner on the other side. The Pirates now in a bit of a jam. 3rd and 13 from their own 30. Chavez dropping. Trying to set up their middle screen. Nothing there. Easily diagnosed. All over it is Josh Wright. I beg your pardon. All over it is Pete Sanzeri. Along with Kyle Weber, and the Pirates need to punt.
Great read by the linebacker, number 8, Kyle Weber, who saw the interior screen, the flanker screen starting to develop in the middle, stepped behind the blockers, and almost got there about the same time that the ball got there.
That's Dennison. Will punt it. Get out of the way, don't let that hit on Aptos, man. Big danger there for the Mariners on the short kick. The ball barely gets back to the line of scrimmage, where it'll be Aptos football, 1st and 10 at the Harbor 29.
Tremendous rush on Standerson, who's a very good punter, both field goal, kickoffs, as well as punts. Had to feel that on the short hop, and then it just got tipped. Going out, we'll see it. Here comes the action. Just got it tipped, and it was enough to really deflect it. So Aptos is going to take over 1st and 10 in just absolutely ideal field position on the Harbor 30-yard line. And it's not going to be a real pretty picture defensively if you're the Harbor Pirates.
So Aptos now leading 6-0 with 2:29 left in the first quarter. Pick up right where they left off. Gives the ball to Gabe Harrow. Let him carry it. Pick up 5. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Brian Tracy, number 57, one of the tacklers for the Harbor Pirates, wrapping himself around Harrow, number 34 for the Mariners. They're just going off tackle. They're leading. They're doing powers. They're inside trapping. Right now the offense is clicking. It's on the ground. We're looking like kind of the old Woody Hayes, Bo Schembechler style of football. Grind it out, grind it out.
Well, there's no reason to do anything if you can create a 5-yard gain on every play and open up the holes they've been opening up. 2nd and 5. Harrow again. Missed tackle early. Harrow barrels through. I think there'll be a lot of missed tackles on Harrow this afternoon. He looks like a barrel when he comes rolling through there.
He does. And he's got those big shoulders. Of course, the shoulder pads, everybody looks big nowadays. Stand next to these kids, and they're going, gee, and at Christmas, you've got a man inside that kid's body. But he gets those shoulder pads square to the line of scrimmage and just runs through tacklers. 77, Dustin Ross was one of those tacklers late in the wake.
So they've moved the chains. It's a 1st down now for the Mariners inside the Harbor Pirates 20-yard line. Simpson gives it to Stevens this time, the 2nd option. Stevens busts forward for another 5, 6, maybe 7 yards. And the Pirates having a hard time. You can't keep giving up 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down.
Not to survive for very long. Kalis, number 70, did a great job of getting downfield and continuing to throw blocks. Kalis lines up at the left tackle. He just does a super job of leading Stevens down the field. Flores is another one of those guys throwing blocks. Good tribute to the Mariners as they hang with their blocks.
45 seconds now left in the first quarter. 6-0 Aptos threatening from the 12. Harrow takes it out to the left side. Finally forced out of bounds by number 32, Travis Tritt. And it's another 1st down for the Mariners.
And you kind of wondered if he could have just got in there. Travis Tritt did a nice job of doing the tackling as he got down there and wrapped his arms around the knees, pinned the knees together, and Harrow can't go anywhere, although he was trying. He's one of those tough running backs.
Quickly played football game thus far, as we had suspected. Both teams favoring the ground game. Harbor will be more or less forced to go to the air if the Mariners score again here. They just don't have the physicality. They're going to have to do some finessing if they're going to stay with this Mariners team. Stevens again with another carry. That's another gain. And it'll be 2nd down and goal to go from the 2.
Baj Rai, 35, stepped in, made the tackle from his linebacker position. We may or may not get another play off as that thing is winding down 16, 15. Looks like Aptos might be contented to let it go. Not, they're coming to the line of scrimmage to see if they can get this thing off.
It'll be close. We're under 5. They do get it off. They do give it to Stevens, and Stevens scores the touchdown. So 2 times in the end zone for the Mariners here in the first quarter. It does come to an end. We'll have the extra point, and then we'll head to the second quarter.
And as we suspected, looking at the stats going into this afternoon's game, Aptos a run and then we'll run it again type of offense. Very limited, and it's right up the gut as Stevens just goes in there, pushing his way over the top of tacklers, but not before his offensive front on that side does a great job of doing that. Martinez and Callis. It is boom. Straight ahead blocking. Stevens right behind them.
Aptos going for two. The first kick was wide right on the extra point. They give it to Harrow. Flag is down. Harrow's in the end zone. They may wave it off. They will.
I think we had a little bit of premature movement in the backfield. I thought Stevens might have taken off too soon. He did. That's going to be against the Mariners. Just a little bit anxious to try and get those points back that they blew it in that first extra point kick. Number 5, Austin Millis. I can't read my own writing anymore. It looks like he came into the game. Do you like this, Jeff, going for two?
This shows an awful lot of confidence going for two from back here. Back for the 8, why not? I think the Mariners feel they have this game pretty well in hand as long as they don't go head case, because they do have the superior physical forces here this afternoon. Were they trying to draw them off? Was that what that was about?
Could have been, because Simpson turned around, looked at his defense, and then called timeout. Bill Garrison's going to step out and consult with that offensive group. Garrison, first year with the Mariners was 1991. Came on board, had a league record of 5-1. He was 9-2 overall. Last year, the Mariners were 3-6-1 against all opponents. In league, they were 2-3-1. Of course, you remember last year's league was kind of like San Lorenzo Valley and then the rest of the people.
And the rest, yeah. Well, this extra point here is taken longer by itself than the whole first quarter did.
Yeah, except for...
We try to sort out what they want to do. They didn't want to kick. They wanted to go for two. They had two. They had a flag. They brought it back. They come up again. They called timeout, and here's where we sit on a lovely afternoon here with the wind blowing from Aptos left to right across Bob Ensweiler Field here in the former swamp of Harbor High School, which has been well done in recent years. Tremendous effort has been put into these playing fields. Parents and teachers together. And Simpson rolling, trying to get it in. He will. Give him two. So now the first quarter's over. With the score, Aptos 14 and Harbor nothing. We'll be back.
You're watching the Game of the Week on TCI Cablevision Channel 3 Sports.
Second quarter underway here. The kickoff was returned back to the 18-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Harbor. Going the other way now. Down 14 in the other direction. Got a little work to do to get back in it.
They've got that. Hopefully they can get some good interior line play, because Chavez really needs all the help he can get back behind the line of scrimmage.
Ball's up for grabs. Fumble picked up. A Mariner has it on the far side. Brings it back inside the 5. Picking up a lot of music in my headset here, Mark. It just keeps going on and on. I'm having a hard time hearing this. Thank you, sir. A little exuberant with some of our special effects here this afternoon on our opening game of our 14th season of the Game of the Week. It's first down Aptos. As you could see, a fumble in the first play from scrimmage here in the second quarter. And the Mariners threatening to lock this one up quite early.
Boy, they're stepping up really quick. Offensive turnovers are really going to be terrible if Harbor can't do a better job of keeping care of that ball.
So Simpson and Aptos now with Stevens in motion. Goes to Harrell, tries to keep it inside. Forget it, he kept it himself. Nice bit of faking there by Simpson, who scores the touchdown.
He got across.
20-0.
Nice bit of running by Simpson. He had Pete Sinzeri out on the flat, and Sinzeri was actually calling for the ball and waving for the ball, but Simpson said, discretion being the better part of valor. I've still got real estate. I might be able to get in, and he got some great downfield blocking from his wide receivers, and he was able to punch it across the goal line for the third score in the afternoon.
Now the extra point by Celestine. Maurice Celestine, no good. Which means next touchdown we'll have another extraordinary 2-point try, probably.
Well, why not? You know, we keep going on that one. Gives both the offense. Little inside fake. Harrell does it, freezes the linebacker, and Simpson decides to take it really early and just punches it across there. You can see Sinzeri coming back to throw a block, but he didn't really have to, as the big quarterback was able to rumble on in for the touchdown. There's a shot of the Mariners cheerleaders on the near side. They've been hooting and hollering ever since the Star Spangled Banner was put away, and they've just got nothing but energy. Bill Garrison, head coach for the Aptos Mariners. Mark Dorfman, special thanks to Mark for getting us some great information on the Mariners. I mean, he gave us some stats that
Really?
we'll have some fun with later on in the game.
And throughout the year, and we really appreciate that kind of information. That makes our coverage just that much better, and we really do appreciate it, and we thank him for that. Celestine to boot it. 20-0 Aptos. This one's going to go out of bounds. There's the flag. He'll try it again from a little further back.
That thing took off kind of like my wedge shot did the other day on the golf course. No straight about it, just straight OB.
A bit of a shank.
Left the foot open and has pushed it right out of bounds. Harbor's going to take over. They're going to get the ball on their own 35-yard line. Best field position of the day for the Pirates. And Ron Maheron, who we said at the top of the show, is at his first year here with Harbor and his 23rd year of coaching high school football in Santa Cruz County. All the rest of them over at Santa Cruz High School, and he had some great athletes that came out of there. Reggie and Jermaine.
First down now for the Pirates. In their own 35. Nice piece of work there, going for the first down. Marcus Chavez on the keeper. I think that's the first down for the Pirates.
I believe you're right, and Chavez really showed me something as far as the quarterback is concerned, because he saw that he had the corner, turned it, and most quarterbacks usually do that hook slide into second base. Not Chavez. He just drops his head down and goes for it. Let's watch this. Rolls, looks down the field, doesn't see anybody, and he's quick as a cat. Gets down there, watches, boom, drops his head, goes head first into a group of tacklers. Marcus, you don't live real long doing that one, especially when they're bigger than you are.
They misspoke. That was the second first down. They had a passing play for a first down in their last possession, or the possession before last. The last possession was a disaster. Chavez keeps it again. He gets it back to the line of scrimmage and maybe a yard or two more, so it'll be second down and 8 from about the 47-yard line of Harbor.
Israel Parra, number 26 on the tackle for the Mariners. Looked like it was going to be a screen to the near side. Baj Rai was setting up on our side like he's going to want the screen pass. But the only problem on that one was there was a whole bunch of white shirts standing around him. So Chavez did the next best thing and very intelligent. Took the ball, pumped it down, and took off running. And maybe the secret right now for the Harbor Pirates, Jeff, is to get that quarterback out on the corners. And if he can throw on the run, let him do it. But spread that field. Use all 50, 53 yards of that field.
Interesting. Stennerson goes wide left. Chavez doing a pretty good job here running his team.
Here's the screen if it works.
Now the pass is complete. They got some territory to make up. They do. They get it. and a lot more, and they have a first down. So a good-looking play, huge patience that time by Chavez, who is either going to be successful or look like a dunce on the play.
He backpedaled probably 15 yards, and number 35, Baj Rai, kept waiting and waiting. He got it, and then very explosive speed. As up the field he turned and picked up a couple of really nice blocks. Got inside Mariner territory at the Mariner 42-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Pirates.
And things looking up just a little bit for Harbor here. Trailing 20-0, but showing some verve here on offense. Now Chavez. Rolling. Under pressure. Going to be caught. Is just crushed. Number 57 slowed him up first. That's Daniel Fernandez. I beg your pardon, James Stanton was the first one to put the pressure on him, and then I think it was Tyler Burke that closed it out, 74, Kurt.
Well, Tyler Burke closed it out. Justin Elliott, 92, was also there. You know who Chavez reminds me of a little bit in his ability to run around and get away from things? The Wizard, Rozaki. A couple years ago, we were here in that San Lorenzo Valley in the Mud Bowl, and that guy, he got out of more things than Houdini did in his lifetime. He was amazing.
Well, this high-risk, high-gambling Harbor offense that time lost out. They doubled their needs. They're 2nd and 20 now.
They're setting up split receivers.
Pretty looking formation, well disciplined. They just need to get the muscles down. Baj Rai takes a big hit and goes down, but not before he gets 3 or 4. Making it a 3rd down and a long 6.
Number 42, Ryan Vaughn, one of the many Mariners in on the tackle. One of the key to the Aptos Mariners defense is the linebackers. Number 8, Kyle Weber. Number 42, Ryan Vaughn. They step in, do a lot of reading, look at the guards, and then start just flowing right to the ball. If you can get those linebackers free and into the opponent's backfield, especially as big as some of those guys are, they can do some damage. Weber, 6'2", 210-pound senior, doubles as a tight end when he's not patrolling the linebacker position.
Gotta wonder now what the Pirates are thinking on offense. Do they think one down to get 6 yards? Do they think 2 downs to get 6 yards? I mean, they don't want to give the ball to Aptos if they can possibly help it, because they have no record of success this afternoon against stopping them. So they want to keep possession no matter what. Pass to Wright, nearly picked off. Wright nearly got it back, but it's incomplete as it hits the ground. Boy, Josh Wright did a tremendous job that time trying to get that ball tucked away for the first down. All over it was David Steele of Aptos, but it's an incomplete pass, and it'll bring up 4th and 6.
Saw a great battle from that position. Here we go, and Chavez rolls behind his tackle, and then has to go out. Great throwing arm, and there's Steele and Wright in a little arm wrestling contest. Good coverage by Steele on the play, is able to just get that ball out of the hands of the receiver. Now it's 4th down. Stennerson in to kick. See if he can kind of angle this thing and pin the ears back to the Mariners.
4th down, back to receive Austin Mills. Mills takes it on the bounce. Did that touch him? I guess not.
No, he's not acting like it.
Roll into the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10 for the Mariners at their own 20. We have 8:05 left to play in the first half, and the score 20-0. Aptos.
That was a good decision by Mills. He was in front of the 10-yard line. And typically what you coach your receivers, the punt receivers, to do is if you're between the 10 and the goal line, let it bounce and let it go on in. If you're outside, catch it, try and get as many yards as you can. That took a bounce, went right over the top of Mills' shoulder, and then had that forward roll and right on into the end zone. So the Mariners are in decent field position. Definitely well-worn field position right at the 20-yard line.
So it's Simpson, Harrow, and Stevens again. It'll be Gabe Harrow in the first carry. Huge holes being opened up. Harrow just rolls on through them, and it's tough to bring down once he gets that seam up.
I got to give credit to Ricardo Martinez, guard number 64. He took his block and hung with the block all the time, even when Harrow was up the field past him. The whistles blew, and Martinez was still on his block. And that was one of the reasons that Harrow had that huge gaping opening.
I believe we had a different runner that time.
Brandon Howard, number 33, got the ball, got the call.
First carry for anyone except Steven Simpson or Harrow.
Harrow's coming back in.
Howard out.
That's good to have a little variety in your running backs. You don't want to have all the glory hung on by those two big horses that are back there.
No, it would seem a great opportunity in the second half here for Aptos to start running some players in. It's only the second quarter. You don't want to take the starters out too early. You want to let them play it out for a bit. They do have the right to start. They earned it. 34, Harrow, knocked for a loss. His first loss of the afternoon, and not much of a loss at that. In fact, they didn't even give him a loss. They gave him half a yard.
They gave him a little bit of a gain.
Yeah, they did.
30.
Certainly looked like he was knocked for a loss.
I thought he was actually hit behind the line of scrimmage. To give you an idea how powerful this running back is he able to take about 3 tacklers with him and get back to the original line of scrimmage. That play almost looked like it was going to be doomed behind the line of scrimmage as Stevens and Harrow tripped behind there. The exchange was a little late, but good gosh, this is a very impressive running back to watch. He is fun to watch.
So with the Dust Devils swirling, we have half the second quarter to go. Simpson and the Mariners on 3rd down and 6. Gives the football to Pete Sunzeri. Sunzeri still on his feet. Fancy dancing. Rolls. First down for Aptos. They had him, and they lost him.
Chris Covey, number 21, finally threw a healer on Sunzeri, who is just not to go down. Let's watch this. He's going to come right into your picture. Number 12 shifts this one tackle. Bajrai misses him. And here's Covey. He finally gets a healer. I mean, send that guy to the rodeo. He's able to get that calf and knock him down.
So he'll be 1st and 10 from their own 49. Aptos leading 20-0. And has been unstoppable thus far this afternoon here at Bob Insweiler Field. Harrow, look at that hole. Look at that steam. Nice shoestring tackle made in there by Chris Covey, number 21, who's having himself a good game.
He is. He's doing a fine job, and he's in that deep back position, but he's having to make a lot of tackles, and that doesn't speak very well if you're letting your defensive backs do all the work on tackling. You got to get those big horses up front to do it, but it's a pretty tough assignment. That Aptos wall is really doing the job. Joel Church Cooper, who I've stated before, number 75, doing a fine job from his right side defensive tackle. He is a big horse of a kid.
They just own the scrimmage. Once again, Pete Sunzeri. Look at the speed. A burst towards the end zone. Covey in on the tackle. A little bit of help there as well from Saba Safiari. That's a first down. Aptos at the 10 or just outside it. They may have room first down in there, not much, maybe a foot or two.
Now look at where they, if you give them about 6 inches, they can get to about the 6-inch mark and make it. Covey, 3 plays, 3 tackles back there. Again, huge holes being opened up by the Mariner Lions. They're just blasting. You're right. They do own the scrimmage.
Not much opposition along the line. As they now give it to Stevens. He cuts it back inside. He rolls it down very close to the goal line. No arms akimbo yet. So it will be, they might have a first down here.
It's really, really close. I'm going to see where they put it.
Second down and 6 inches for a first down and 8 inches for a touchdown. Half a foot and 2/3 of a foot, respectively.
It is close. Watching the Mariners run, they do a great job of reading their blocks. They start to go outside, they see the hole open inside, and they're very good, elusive cutback runners. And then they get everything squared up, and they just run over the tacklers.
So who gets the call? Chris Gerard is in there, number 48. They give it to Stevens, and Stevens has the touchdown. 26 points for Aptos now, still in the second quarter. 3:38 left here.
The running game continues to go forward for the Mariners. Stevens, also a very fine baseball player. Second baseman, can pitch, pretty good power, and you're showing his running back. He's able to read holes and deliver that extra quick step and just pop right on through for the touchdown. We go to the proverbial two. Yes, we are.
The Mariners trying to get it back up with 26 points. Want to even it up to divide it by 7. The loop pass caught in the end zone. 2 points for Kyle Weber and the Aptos Mariners. 28-0 now.
Good job by Simpson. He waited his time, rolled out. Weber did an even better job from his tight end position. Read it, broke out, followed his quarterback very nicely, got deep in the end zone, found the seam, and Simpson was able to find him for one of those rare things that the Mariners do, and that's passing. And the touchdown. I'm trying to think. The Aptos Mariners opened up the game with a little pass that fell harmlessly to the turf, incomplete. That might have been the second one that they had. So the Mariners run, and here's another look at it. Nice job as you see Stevens look to the outside, see the hole open just inside off the tackle, and he dove right across for the touchdown.
So 3:38 left in the first half. A little hard time setting the ball up there.
Michael Schumeister.
Michael Schumeister, the kick. I want to make sure 52 is Celestine, 51 is Schumeister, and he gets a lot of shoe into it. And it's taken by Russ Van Auken, who gives it to Chavez. Chavez rolls it up across the 20. Be first down somewhere in the vicinity of their own 20 for the Mariners. Now looking at a huge hill here with 2 minutes or 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first half. 28-0. They are down.
Number 55, Neil Ralston, was able to get hold of Chavez and just take him to the turf. And it is getting to be quite almost a Mount McKinley type of a climb.
Well, you know, the Harbor kids that stick with this can just take a look at their coach's record and realize that he is quite a phoenix. He's had some horrible seasons and he's had some great seasons, and maybe the best season that we've ever seen on that 12-0 run.
That was a fantastic season going all the way to San Jose State Stadium.
Got 3 or 4 guys from that team into Division I too. I am DeDejo at UCLA. Chavez rolling. Chavez almost up to the line. Completion. Good play. Brian McGinnis. McGinnis has a first down, and a flag is back at the line of scrimmage or just behind it. And that's too bad, because I think they're going to pull this back.
It does look that way. Chavez did a nice job of rolling out. Took a heck of a lick after it was all over. And again, an illegal block as one of the blockers who was trying to protect Chavez got down below the knees, blocked the Mariners. So that's going to be a very costly penalty for the Harbor Pirates, as that's going to back them up all the way to the 10-yard line. Still going to be first down, but Jeff, you want to talk about a mountain. They've got a mountain. They don't have any climbing gear to get up it right now.
Boy, that's tough. They had a first down 35 yards from where they currently have the football with a first down, but now they need 22 yards.
Nice little rollout. Watch. He gets it down the field. We just pull out as a block is right behind Chavez as he was working his way to the sidelines.
And back to the live action on first down. Football's on the ground, and Aptos white shirt is on top of it. The Mariners have the football again. I think that's Celestine who comes up with the recovery. And the Mariners, a couple of amazingly fortuitous recoveries inside the 10-yard line. This is their second one in the first half, and they're about ready to punch this guy over 30.
And that's going to be a tough one for them to climb. Celestine did a nice job, got across the line of scrimmage, looked the quarterback right in the eye, and it looked like there might have been a miscommunication between the quarterback and one of the running backs, and that thing just got on the ground, and that loaf of bread was gobbled up really quick.
Well, the cheerleaders are closing in with the music here, and that can only mean one thing. It's almost halftime. All kind of faking is going on, resulting in an incompletion as the pass was intended for Mike Flores, and I think there's some kind of no penalty, eh?
I thought I saw a flag out there.
I thought I heard the ref talking and looking at something. I guess it was just a routine call. He's calling it second down now. Second down and 8. Second down and goal from the 8.
Number 3, Brian McGinnis was the cover out there, and he did a very nice job at getting in Flores' way, and Simpson didn't have anywhere to throw the ball. He did a great job.
Simpson gives it to Stevens, dancing, breaks through 2 would-be Harbor tacklers and rolls it into the end zone for the touchdown. The Mariners have 34 points.
You talk about splitting the uprights. He just split the defenders, not once, but maybe 2 or 3 times as Harbor thought they had him, and poof. Stevens all of a sudden appeared to go right on through the first group. Then he lines up, not to go through. There's another tackle, probably about 4 missed tackles on that play. And the Mariners' ground attack is just a juggernaut tonight.
Well, there were 2 green shirts, like a wall in front of Stevens. He just ran through the both of them. They gave him the old Ponce de Pecho, and that was that. Celestine's kick is up, and no good again. So we're on the seesaw here. We get a bad kick, and then we get a 2-point conversion, and a bad kick, and a 2-point conversion.
Well, at least they're keeping it even. They're keeping it consistent.
They got to keep working on that kicking game. 3 minutes left in the first half. With the score, Aptos 34 and Harbor nothing.
Yeah, we were talking before the game. It's really nice to come to the high schools. You can catch up on where some of these players went on to college and what they're doing. And Cody Muley, we found out that he's up at Stanford thinking of playing rugby. Of all the sports in the world you want to play, rugby.
Pretty interesting how a guy can be smart enough to go to Stanford and get scholarships and then decide to play rugby.
There's one worse, Australian rules football. But it's not much.
It's interesting stuff.
You got the ball, son, you better move.
Run back by Travis Tritt, who tried to get it to the outside, but gets caught there, and will be first down now for the Pirates, who just got massacred in their last possession. That was really tragic, Kurt. They had the football up near the 45, and suddenly they were giving the football to the Mariners on their own 8, resulting in yet another Mariner score. 34-0. We suspected trouble here, that a bit of a mismatch. This is getting tough now for the Pirates.
As I said, the Pirates are in a rebuilding year. It's tough for any school. I don't care if you're college, pros, or especially high school. 3 coaches in 3 years. And I think Ron Maheron and his staff are going to bring some solid grounds here.
Trying to get it to the outside. The Mariners just string it out. And McGinnis is tackled and pushed out of bounds.
I think McGinnis might have gained about 35 yards running sideways, and he lost. Waiting to see what the sticks go.
Probably about 3. Yeah.
A great job by the Mariner defense. They just strung it out, never committed. Safeties came up to shut off any opportunity for McGinnis to turn it upfield, and the defense finally caught up with the young running back. But with Maheron and his staff, they're solid football people, very knowledgeable. They'll get this thing back up to snuff.
2nd and 13 for the Pirates. 2:41 left in the half. Chavez still has it. Fumble! Mariners have it again. Mariners have it at the Harbor 16.
No backside blocking at all that time for Harbor. Chavez rolled to his right, and he didn't get anything. Didn't get any help. Howard just came in like a freight train, wrapped his arms around the unsuspecting quarterback. And when you take a look at Chavez, 5'6", 145 pounds. Howard, if I could find him, 6 foot, 200 pounds in this match.
So the Mariners trying to ring the bell one more time here before the half. 2:33 to do it in. Now the pass, now the tackle. Good hit in there. Bajrai having a good game.
Gotta like that. There's a lot of fight left in these Harbor Pirates as Bajrai stepped up, really delivered the hit. Heck, with these headsets on, I can hear the shoulder pads pop on that one. It's difficult for young football players when they're in this situation down by 34 to keep that intensity up, but it looked like Bajrai still has a lot of intensity to play this game of football.
Well, you practice all week, you get 48 minutes to play it out for real. Might as well enjoy it, even if it's a rout, which it is. This is Stevens. Gonna get worse. Touchdown, Aptos. 40-0. Less than 2 minutes to play in the first half.
Let's see if they're gonna go for one. Because I see Celestine headed out for the field, so they're going to try it.
Well, they might as well keep practicing the play they haven't had success with. They've been successful with the other play. They know how to do that, obviously. They might as well learn how to kick. They may need it sometime.
They might. They just might.
Clearly don't need it today.
Now, today is when you're going to make sure everything executes. That was a great run by Stevens and a super block by number 12, Cesare, down at the goal line to make sure that Stevens could get in for the score.
So the kick is good for Ohio State, and it's 41-0 with 1:42 left here in the first half.
Practice does make perfect.
Cheerleaders waiting patiently here at the door of the booth for preparation for the halftime show. What are you guys looking for, a plug?
Oh, we're going to be an electrician on the side.
Well, I don't see anything extra there, so wait a minute.
Well, as I said before, last time we were here at Bob Ensweiler Stadium was when we had that wonderful ceremony honoring Bob. It was a cold, damp, wet day, and by the time it was over, we couldn't tell who was Harbor and who was San Lorenzo Valley, and it didn't matter because it ended up in a tie, and both of these schools ended up as co-champions in the SCCAL. Trump was the head coach at that point in time for the Harbor Pirates, and since then it's been a revolving door as the head coach. Meanwhile, as we said before, Garrison has been at the helm of the Mariners since 1991, and if you're consistent, the program does show.
They've had pretty good consistency at Aptos with their coaches, 5, 6, 7-year runs. That kick's out of bounds. Celestine needs to square himself a little bit more. He's got this right side bias going today that's huge.
He does. If I were him, the head coach, I just walk over to him and say, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, turn a little bit left.
Hook it. Try and hook it. I'm looking at Aptos' first football year was in 1969. Wayne Johnson was the head coach, and he ran it for 4 years. Then some guy named Lynch stepped in 1973, and Frank hung in there until 79, and shortly thereafter that he joined you. 1 year for Sonny Stupik and Jim Michelson, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Jamie Townsend, 4 years, and now Bill Garrison. So you're right, they've had a lot of stability at the head for the Aptos Mariners, and all of those coaches are on-campus coaches, which is huge in high school programs.
Pirates with a pretty good line surge that time, bursting forward for about a 5-yard gain. That's been one of their better running plays of the afternoon. I think the ball carrier is Joe Carniglia, I'm not sure. Number 42, it looked like to me. Huh?
That was the man.
2nd down and 5. Gratefully, the clock winding down to 1 minute left in the first half.
Well, both of these schools are keeping it on the ground, and even when Harbor does try and pass, sometimes it doesn't quite get out of the hands of the quarterback, so that clock keeps right on ticking.
Aptos leads the series 17 games to 12. Bajrai picks it up off the back, look like of an Aptos man, and rolls it for the first down.
Great concentration by number 35, Bajrai, as he looked that thing right into his hands. Receiver coaches will say, catch the ball with your eyes. Look it right into your hands. You generally won't miss it unless you get stuck, and I think you're right. We watch Chavez, and he just gets it right off the top of the grass, just over the top of a down Mariner and across getting another first down. And we got a timeout, but I didn't see who called timeout. Harbor calls timeout. Mariners will kneel right in front of us, talking to their defensive coordinator to get everything squared away. There's a story with 34.9 seconds to go in the second quarter. Just as Jeff said, this is just an absolutely gorgeous autumn day, and you listen to the weather reports building up into this one. I figured we were going to have a cold, rainy afternoon.
Yeah, it sounded like El Hermano or something coming back in town.
I was starting to
El
feel
Nino's big brother or something.
I'm going to feel bad for our camera crew and, of course, Mark Ligon, the producer and director of the Game of the Week, thinking, oh, lovely. Mud Bowl revisited.
So they're blowing the barbecue smoke now across the field to get the fans ready for the halftime.
Fire up the snack shack,
Yeah, they
folks.
got that big fan down there. They blow the smoke across the field so people can get their hunger up. So we move into the second half of tonight's Game of the Week with the Aptos Mariners leading the Harbor Pirates by a score of 41-0. Jeff Conley with Kurt Edwards on this beautiful afternoon here at Ensweiler Stadium. Adjacent to Harbor High School, it's Chavez and the Pirates on their first play from scrimmage here in the second half with an awful long way to go to get back in this one, but still 24 football minutes to play, 24 minutes of reward for the hard work they do all week, and starting way back probably in the middle of August to get to this point to be able to play this sport. So Kurt, we'll play it out.
And that we will, and you're right, it does take a long time. Middle of August, 2-a-days, double days, boy, they go a long time. Practice in the morning and then another one in the afternoon, plus films, chalk talk. It's a lot of effort to get ready for these football games.
And this is the reward, to get to play, to get the score, and just keep on playing. Bajrai, who had a terrific first half receiving, gets a carry here in the third quarter, and it'll go for a little bit of a loss and move the sticks back a bit and make it 3rd down and 8.
Number 74, Tyler Burke on the tackle, 6'2", 230-pound defensive tackle. He's a senior. Aptos has 17 returning players this year, and a lot of skilled players, some of them receivers, and because that offensive line is so good, as are the running backs, they don't see the ball very often.
Chavez with a very strange-looking handoff to Bajrai, who keeps on fighting and finally gets collared after evading 3 or 4 Mariners. Gets collared by number 42, Ryan Vaughn, and a little help from his friends.
And those friends allow that linebackers to come on up. As soon as that running back starts to bang around like a pinball in a pinball machine, up flies the safeties, up fly the linebackers, and they just lay a world of hurt on Bajrai, who's had a great game this afternoon, especially in the receiving department. He's made some fine catches and gotten down the field to pick up some nifty yards.
Matt Stenison will kick it. Austin Mills will let it bounce, grab it, and take off. Fumbles it out of bounds. It'll be Aptos ball really close to the 40-yard line of Harbor.
Looked like Mills fumbled as he was trying to just get the handle on that suitcase, just change arms on it, and it popped free. On that play, number 7, Isaac Dixon did a fine job of freeing Mills so he could get down the near sidelines and pick up about 15, 20 additional yards as he was down there to throw a block. And it looks like the Mariners are going to keep going with the big horseman, at least through the third quarter.
Yeah, that was the debate at the half. What we were discussing was how long would the main guy stay in. This is Sunzeri. Sunzeri has a lot of speed, had a lot of yards in the first half, as did Stevens, as did Harrow. Plenty of talent in the backfield to pay off the line for their particular brilliance and domination of the scrimmage.
28, Matt Stenison with the tackle. A lot of that Cinzeri coming from the left side, working through on the option play. Simpson doing a fine job of ball handling. And of course, the right side of that offensive front doing a great job of just getting underneath the shoulder pads of the Harbor Pirates and getting them off their feet and out of the way.
1st and 10 from the 30 of the Pirates. This is Harrow. Breaks the tackle. Almost caught at the line of scrimmage. Finally gets knocked over by the sure-handed Joe Carniglia.
Great job by Carniglia as he was able to fight off some blockers, get in there, and he really leveled a boom on Harrow. That was one of the better shots I've seen on the Aptos running back. Just tripped him up, picked up about 5. Be 2nd down and 5. The wind picks up, as does the dust.
2nd down and 5. The Mariners on the move again with just under 9 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. They lead at 40-0. A lot of shuffling there. Another tackle slip. Another touchdown for Stevens. 47-0. Aptos over Harbor. The hits just keep on coming.
Stevens just did a great job of open field running as he just ducked into the hole, got his blocks, read him, and then boom, he was gone. He was coming in with 243 yards in the 3 games that we played previous to this, and now he's got a whole bunch more. Daniel Fernandez, number 57 for the Aptos Mariners, one of the linemen, is limping off, so he's not feeling really good right now.
Well, the Pirates look like they're trying to make an awful lot of grab tackles and no stick tackles or hit tackles. It's kind of grab tackles, and if they don't get them in the grasp, they're gone.
That's right, those arm reach tackles where you just try and wrap around them when you're off to the side. It really doesn't work when you have the running backs that Aptos has.
No footwork, no body work, no getting in the way. You got to break the path somehow.
Get that, they always talk about get in the way, drop your shoulder, get in a good athletic position and drive your shoulder pads right into the ball carrier, wrap him and drop him.
So the kick makes it 48-0.
They talk about these 2 running backs that Aptos has this year, and they're very talented running backs. And you go down the list of Mariner running backs, and it's led by career-wise Mike Allshouse, who played 90 and 91 and gained 2,082 yards for the Mariners.
He was a horse. He was fun.
Holy cow.
He was big fun.
And then Ryan Lewis, who was at Columbia for a while, he sits at number 2. He played in 1994, 1995 with 1,757 yards. And both of those kids were great running backs, good students. Allshouse went on to San Luis Obispo, and as I just said, Lewis was on to Columbia. Now you look at that, one of the guys that we've never covered, Joe Garbini. That's back in the Frank Lynch era, 1977 to 78. But in front of him is Noah Hall. So Aptos has had a wealth of running back talent.
There was the Brady bunch as well.
That's true, yeah. Jeff and Mike Brady. And it just seems in the last couple of years, especially with Coach Garrison, it's run, run, run. You say, well, where did you run so much? Where'd Trent come from? He was in the Jamie Townsend era.
Right.
Different coach, folks. Outside, so Celestine gets to do another chip shot. I didn't see where that one went. Did he lose it right again?
I didn't see it at all, to be honest with you. I don't know why I didn't see it. I think I'm getting kind of hypnotized by all these Aptos kickoffs. Celestine does have a right foot bias. See if he can square this one away. This one's fair territory, just like you said. Hook it in there. Now picked. Chavez, who does everything for this team, gets nailed early. Nice sliding, diving, special teams tackle by David Steele.
A good tackle, too. Right around the ankles. And Chavez, I don't know if he's come off the field. I really can't honestly say that I've seen him come off the field, although he's angling towards the sideline, but that might just be to get a play. Because I've noticed both of these quarterbacks, Marcus gets the play, and here he comes back in. With Reggie and Jermaine, you remember that, great teams. think it was Jermaine that would run to the sidelines, get the play, and then run
That's
back
right.
in.
He was just all over the place.
And he never got tired.
Indefatigable, as they say. Brian McGinnis goes wide right. Bajrai lines up behind Chavez.
Referee's timeout. I don't think it's a TV's timeout because we haven't called it yet.
You know, Kurt, number 42, Joe Carniglia or Joe Carniglia? I want to say Carniglia because it's such a well-known local name, but it's spelled Carniglia on here. I don't know which way it is. Anyway, Bajrai.
And a flag.
I can do him. B-O-J, B-H-O-J, and R-A-I is his last name, Bajrai.
And there was a flag on the play, and judging from that one, it's probably going to be offside against the men in green. The more I look at it, oh, they're going to wave the flag off, so we're not going to worry about that one. Just a quick trigger. Quick trigger on the hanky. Yeah, I'm looking at Harbor, and I like those uniforms. It kind of reminds me a lot of the Spartans from Michigan State in that color green that they've got out there.
Let's not be talking any Spartans here. Let's not be talking any Michigan State stuff to me.
Oh, well, yeah.
Give me a break.
Touchy subject. Sorry about that, folks. Retract that from the tape.
2nd and 8. Don't be bringing that in here. I know you're stretching today for stuff to do, but let's not be doing that. Block, line of scrimmage. So we're under 8 minutes here in the third quarter, 48-0 Aptos. They've scored 1 touchdown here in the third. They had 41 points in the first half. A lot of them gifted to them by the Pirates, who fumbled 2 or 3 times inside their own 15.
And we've got definitely Fernandez, an injured Mariner. They're still working on his left leg. Looks like it's a knee. That's never good when you're a young football player to be injured early in your football career.
3rd down and 9 for the Pirates. Pitch to Rye.
Razzle
Reverse to complete to Chavez. The quarterbacks end up with the football on the pass. Who was that, man? I don't even have 31 on here. No, it's number 3. It was
number 3. It
was McGinnis that threw the pass, so they gave it to Rye, who ran right, and McGinnis took the handoff, rolled, and threw it to the quarterback, Chavez, who started out with the football. I'd like to roll that one again sometime.
Well, that's kind of the things you can do when you're down by as many points as Harbor is. They're down by 48. Is
have some fun.
Have some fun. Get the gadget plays going. You never know when you're going to need them. And do they execute? How can you improve upon them?
They could win for you someday. Stenerson wide left, McGinnis wide right.
Oh, there's a wall.
Ball stays in the middle. Ends up on the turf in a hurry. We finally get Carniglia off the bottom of the pile.
And he was just sat upon by about 4 white shirts.
He was totally blended into the grass on that one. 6:52, third quarter. Still no points for the Pirates. Trying to break the egg.
Stripped it.
Chavez keeps it, loses it. Fumble, it's on the ground again. It's all over the place. Who's going to come up with it? Aptos has it once again. Fumble at the 30. Recovered. And the Mariners will look to break the 50 marker. I was just about to say, though, Kurt, that, you know, Harbor's kind of outgunned here. It's not kind of. They're supremely outgunned. But how many penalties have we seen them make? Not many. They get down, they get set. They're not fooling around. They're getting pounded, they're getting beat all the time, but they're not going off sides, they're not jumping the gun, they're not losing their poise. They've got great posture out there, I think, and so there's hope.
I think there is. They're a very well disciplined
There's
ball
hope.
club.
These kids know how to play. They just don't have enough horses right now.
And that's the key in high school football.
But they're not making mistakes. They're making physical mistakes. They're not making mental mistakes. I mean, they're losing the foot. This guy, every time there's a fumble, Stevens takes off with it and wants to run it for another touch. He's finally tackled this time and brought down by a hustling Isaac Sandoval, but not before he brings it deep into Harbor territory. He'll be inside the 15, just barely, and a first down.
Sandoval was pretty smart. He saw that, well, at this point of the game, you can make the tackle or you can go for the ball, and he actually went for the ball, but Stevens just grabbed it with both paws and just made sure that thing was not going to pop free for the fumble.
A new quarterback in there for Aptos. This is Carlos Torres. New running back. This is Brandon Howard. Welcome to the game. You can have 6 points too, and it's 54-0.
And the hits keep right on coming as we just got going through the Aptos Mariners stats. They scored 48 points in the first half. That beats their previous
41,
record.
41 in the first half.
They scored 41 in the first half?
Yeah.
Then they tied their record, which was established against Watsonville in 1996, where the Mariners scored 41 points.
They're going to have...
Oh, we got another field goal kicker, the southpaw. Flores going to do the kicking.
Blocked, stuffed, stumped. Big play for the Pirates. In on top of it, number 42, Joe Carniglia, who's having a good game for the Pirates. It's 54-0.
That was a great surge by the Pirates. You're always looking for small victories, and if the large ones are going to elude you, look for one, and they were able to do a great job coming in and blocking that kick. And Flores never even got that thing off the tee.
So what's their most points in one game?
I'm looking for it as we can. You got the most victories were 9 yards rushing. Most points per season is 276. Impressive.
For a season.
Mm-hmm.
How many do they have this season with this 54? Probably well over 100, huh?
Yeah, they cracked that number. And all the wonderful stats that Mark Dorfman gave me, I'm still looking for that one and I can't find it.
That's too bad. That would be interesting. I'll bet we're getting close to it. Michael Schumeister will kick it. He kind of takes turns with Celestine. Kick is pretty deep. Chavez takes it again. Chavez is going to be one tired guy tonight.
He is.
Chavez is punting. Chavez is running. Chavez is quarterbacking. Chavez has a reception. They might have to call part of this place Chavez Ravine before it's over.
Oh, now we're reaching.
This kid is really wild. I love this guy.
He's also going to be the most black and blue player that sits out there, as he is.
What else can he do? They need about 10 more Chavezes. They got some bright spots. Baj Rai. Carniglia is a tough guy. Covey plays strong. McGinnis does his thing. I think they play well. They're just being out physical.
Yeah, they look at the size. Well, you look at the size of that.
Yeah, John Preston, number 2, just lined up on the left side there. He's an end. He's 5'3", and he weighs 115 pounds. And he just got thrown to the side by number 4 for Aptos, who is 6'2" and 195. And that's the kind of thing that's going on for the Pirates. Let's tell it the way it is. That's what's going on. The other guys are bigger, stronger, and more physical, although perhaps not more physical. I mean,
I don't know if they're any more physical.
I don't mean physical. I mean skillful.
Yeah.
Skillful. They're more physical. They're just bigger.
They're just bigger and
around.
stronger. They're able to push them around, but there's no lack of.
There's a lot of skill in this Harbor team. It just looks a little small, maybe a little young. You got a lot of 11th graders on it.
Yeah, looking at Tony Martin, number 66, biggest guy, 5'11", 242 pounds for the Pirates.
2nd and 3. Bajrai trying to find a hole. Just gets snapped. It just gets outweighed over there.
He just got driven through the chain gang, the bench. I think they picked him up over by the orange cyclone fencing on the far side.
He got hit by a man similar size that time, 5'9", 165, with David Steele. And Rye himself is listed at 5'8", 160, so that was fair man-to-man that time.
And Bill Garrison is starting to change the tenor of the troops who are out there defensively for the Aptos Mariners. So not unusual. You get your starters to start the third quarter. We get them run a series or two, and then
Well,
start bringing in some of the extra people.
13 points they scored with 5 minutes left in the third quarter. They had 13 more points to add to the 41 previous. Enough is enough. Chavez just keeps on coming, dribbles the ball out of bounds. It'll be a toss in from the right side.
Well, I don't know if Chavez is going to even be able to walk off the field when the final gun goes off. He takes his time. He's over on the sidelines now, getting the call in, and then he'll meander on in, give the call to his mates. Watching Harvard get off the ball. They are getting off the ball in the unit. They are very quick. They are popping once. But as you've already stated, the physical size and strength of the Mariners' defensive front, they just chuck them off to the side after one pop. So if anything is going to come up the middle, better be a really quick hitting play.
So here we go, a first down, a rare first down for the Pirates with 3:06 left in the third quarter. Chavez earns it for him. Now he rolls left, hits Rye. Been a good combo today. Rye takes the hit direct on and picks up another Harbor first down.
Chavez to Rye right, Chavez to Rye left. It's going to be interesting when we see the stats and at the end of this game, to how many completions and how many runs and how many times that Rye caught the ball. Nice job looking over his outside shoulder and then drops that shoulder, goes up the field, picks up a couple of additional yards and gets that first down. It's so important after a receiver catches the ball, they look down the field and get those yards after the catch, the rack, as they call it. Pick up those additional yards. It'll help out.
So Chavez and the Pirates on the move with a couple of first downs here in the third quarter. A bootleg action here. Chavez digging it out. Chavez with a first down. Chavez with more. It's all Chavez out there right now. He gets it all the way down to the Mariners 30.
And he is just a one-man gang. And that time he was able to outrun everybody, and just get that corner turn. He was able to get at least one or two blocks and then turn the corner and then pick up, what, about 15 yards coming up, just looking just great.
And your heart goes out to him. His team's getting pounded 54-0. He's doing everything. It's almost like the year that Paul Hornung won the Heisman Trophy and Notre Dame had 3 wins or something.
Yeah, that's right.
He was just such a good football player that they gave it to him.
He's just a star. It's enjoyable to watch. He has really good touch when he passes the ball. They're not going deep, but then again, Maheron realizes he doesn't have enough time to get the ball deep down the field.
Chavez with a quick pass, quick pop, tried to hit his man John Preston, who at 5'3" held his ground and got crushed just before,
He does.
or just after having the ball slip through.
I'll tell you, Mr. Preston, if you're going to get creamed, make it work. Catch that ball. Although it's easy to say from up here, but it's really tough to do. When you get that, you know it's coming. The ball's on its way, but you also know there's a defensive guided missile coming right at you.
Well, at 5'3", he's very close to the ground, and his ears can hear that little thunder coming down on top of him.
Oh yeah, and the defensive backs have this propensity to yell as loud as they possibly can. To let you even know that, yeah, physically we're coming, mentally we're coming, emotionally we're coming, so duck and strap it on because we're going to hit you.
2, Preston goes right, 3, McGinnis goes left. Chavez and the Pirates on second down from their own, or from the Aptos 32 on the march. Here's Chavez now, taking it left. Well, the Mariners have a lot of reserves in there, but this just goes to show you that beyond the first front row, these teams are probably pretty well matched.
They are. They're doing it again. I'm watching it. This is fantastic. That was Torres, number 2, coming up and laying the hit on Chavez. Tony Olsgaard was the tight end. Could have had an opportunity to throw a block, but he realized if he actually threw it, it had been clipping, so he did the wise thing, decided to do a physical screen and stand there. At least get one guy off of his quarterback's back.
Clock running at 1:18 in the third quarter. 54-0 to score. But if you watch this for a bit, it won't look like that. You cannot tell which team has 54 and which has nothing right now, unless you look at the scoreboard. You just cannot tell. You think this team has the 54? They don't.
Now, and that was a nice little swing pass out to Baj Rai, number 35. going down some of the stats. Most yards rushing by a quarterback. Got any guesses? This is for Aptos.
Oh, yeah. It's got to be Trent.
Yeah, it's Trent against the Harbor Pirates.
Big horse.
1989, Trent ran for 166 yards. So maybe Townsend did have a couple of running plays in there when he was coaching.
Well, he would turn broken plays into big gains on the ground. That's what he would do. If he couldn't find his receivers, he'd just turn it up. He was so big they couldn't do anything about it.
And the story on Trent is he was actually looking to go to Cal, and they wanted to play tight end. And he said, no, I want to play quarterback. And Cal said, nope. So the rest, Fresno State, and obviously the rest is history.
All right, Stenison to try a very long field goal. He's got wide left. He had the range, but he did not. He had the distance. He just didn't have the range.
Just went a little bit wide. That was an impressive kick by the young kickers.
That was. I thought he was going to get that.
He nailed that thing.
So the Pirates come up empty, but not before they put on a little show of their own for the sustained drive that finally fizzles. And the third quarter has come to an end with the score Aptos 54 and the Pirates nothing. The Mariners in our opener of our 14th season of the Game of the Week on TCI Channel 3 Sports. 14 years of bringing you the best of local high school sports, a tradition that set the standard worldwide in the coverage of scholastic sports. There are many imitators about, but this is the original Game of the Week, high school style, Central Coast of California. This not one of our more competitive games, quite frankly. With just under 11 minutes left in the football game, the Aptos Mariners have really put it on the Harbor Pirates this afternoon by a score of 54-0. Aptos has run in a few of their alternate players. Some of the substitutes, some of the younger ones getting a chance to try their hand here, but telling you, we told you during the third quarter that if you looked out here and watched the action, you cannot be positive which team has the 54 and which has the goose egg, because the Pirates have played some pretty good football. They just can't punch it across, and they've made some tremendous gifts to the Mariners with several fumbles deep in their own territory. But they're outmanned, and everybody knows it. Aptos is going to go to 4-0 after this one, and Harvard's going to go to 0-4. There's a lot of competition waiting out there for Aptos, and there's a lot of opportunities for Harbor to pick up a couple of V's along the way. We're going to have San Lorenzo Valley, the return of those Cougars who thrilled us so deeply last year, especially in that final game at Gilroy against Palma, which was one of the more extraordinary events that even a junkie like Kurt Edwards can ever remember seeing.
You got that call right. That was just excitement 101, 2, and 3. Aptos getting their number 2 backfield in there. We're seeing a lot of new people in the skill positions.
Well, this guy's got some skill. Oh my. Rumbling, roaring, rambling down the field. That was Chris Gerard. 5'8", 160-pound junior, Chris Gerard.
Now he sure made his presence known as he takes a handoff, goes off the tackle leaders, explodes through a hole. Now he's not going to be let down as he's got 1, 2, 3. Finally, 3 Harbor Pirates are able to get him down. And the secret to that one, obviously, is that great up-front offensive line by the Aptos Mariners and that explosive running ability that Gerard showed us.
Carlos Torres at the helm for the Mariners. This is Pedro Sanchez.
Baj Rai, number 35 on the tackle, and they've got a down or maybe very fatigued Harbor Pirate.
That kid's not moving.
He is down. We do not have a number of the injured athlete.
I see his foot moving. Now his arm's moving. Okay.
And
hopefully he's just winded here, and I think that's the story.
it's been a very hot, warm day, and these guys have gone over. Isaac Sandoval, number 55, might have just taken one right in the solar plexus, had the wind knocked out of him.
He's a big guy, 5'7", 205. He's been hauling a lot around there in the hot afternoon sun here in early October.
And he's sitting upright, which is really good. You always hate to see him start out laying down, but when they start to get up on their feet, that's always a really good sign. It is a warm day, and these guys have been playing both sides of the ball. Hopefully they've been getting enough water into their system. On his own feet, under his own power, headed towards the sidelines.
Yeah, he looks okay. Isaac Sandoval.
Yes, talk about the league a little bit this year. Obviously, we're watching the Aptos Mariners. They seem to have a very potent ground attack. So far, their passing attack has not been tested, but they've got that big up front line.
Who needs it?
Yeah, really. SoCal also pretty much ground-oriented. They run that, I just call it the phone booth tee, double tight formation, and they just run and run and run. Vito Chiaramani, their quarterback, just hands it off to a bevy of running backs, and they've been pounding it up everybody's throat. The Valley, they, as we remember from last year, they spread the wealth. They've got good running backs and pretty good receivers.
So Torres, with a lot of faking, ends up keeping it shovel pass out to the right, on top of it and holding it and loving it and caressing it is Austin Mills. The Mariners hold on to the football as Torres just had too many options that time and kind of chose the worst one at the end of it all.
Yeah, it looked like he had the opportunity of going with the belly series, just riding that one, and he pulled that one back. Then he was going to do a pitch out, but he was too far into the line, and his option had gone too far forward, so he decided to pitch it behind him. Fortunately for Mills, he was heads up and went around and cradled that thing.
Tim Pine, wide left. Carlos Torres down under center. Gives it to Pedro Sanchez, who busts it for 3 or 4 yards. Will bring up a third down in about 2.
And great blocking on the right side, as there was a little trap blocking on the right side, allowing the running back to get through that hole deep into the defensive territory.
Well, I had the wrong name there, Kurt. Pedro Sanchez is 46. That was Chris Gerard. Number 48, Chris Gerard.
And Gerard shows me some quickness, and he is very fast coming off that thing. Took that handoff and saw daylight and was gone. So these number 2, 3, and 4 running backs for the Aptos Mariners, they're quite good.
2nd and 5. Isaiah Parra, number 26 with that carry. Got to get into these new guys here. Kurt, we're bringing a lot of new guys into the game. Here comes Isaac Sandoval after a quick trip to the locker room for an IV.
Good to see him back in. And I can't remember, and shame on me I didn't keep it right. Ryan Stevens, I think, has 4 touchdowns in the afternoon. We probably won't see him later on. Most touchdowns in a game is held by one of the Brady bunch with 5 several seasons ago against Santa Cruz.
Stevens has 4 touchdowns?
I think so. He seems like he's going to cross it 18 times.
Torres in the grass. In the grass. Blow the whistle. Nope, not in high school. You have to get crushed.
That was a crusher. Brian Tracy.
Brian Tracy. Nice tackle.
It looked more like he was going for one of those Pat-level wrestling moves. He was going to try and get him up and send him to the mat and then gain control on a cross clip. I don't know what. Lovell's got more names for moves than I could count.
I've never heard anything like his description of wrestling in my life. There's no one in the world that can do that except him. 5:58 and counting. 4th quarter of our opening game. 54-0 is the score. But we did give you a chance to see this Harbor team. And just remember what you saw here, because the next time around, which will probably be next year, I suspect that we will see something completely different from the green and white. Now Brian McGinnis comes wide right. Got John Preston.
Got a
wide
fumble.
left. Well, they held on to it that time. That would have been, what, the 4th or 5th lost one? I think they've lost 4.
4, and they've all been inside the 30.
Yeah.
Or would have all been inside the 30.
A couple of them are inside the 15. One of them was inside the 5.
Yeah, it was. You want to lose the ball, that's not the place to lose it.
They've given some big gifts up, but what are you going to do?
Going through all these stats that Mark Dorfman faxed over to my machine that ran for a half an hour while all this stuff was spitting them out. Found an interesting one. Most passing touchdowns in a game, which is against Seaside, which is 1970, done by the Harbor High School basketball coach, Mike Gruber.
That, I find that really, I didn't even know he played quarterback. He never talks about it.
No, he talks about his prowess as a shooter.
Yeah, he loves basketball. He never talks about his football days. That ball was up for grabs, intended for Brian McGinnis. Actually, Chris Gerard was a little closer to it, the Aptos player, than anyone else. Chavez is down. There's a flag down near him. Maybe he got roughed up, huh?
He threw that ball, and then a Aptos Mariner took the opportunity and waylaid him and knocked him on his side. So it's going to be roughing the passer against the Mariners. Sometimes this will happen when you get those the number 2, number 3 team guys. They want to make a statement. They want to show the coach that they're ready to hit and they're excited, and their timing might be just a tad bit off.
Yep.
But I'll say this much. We've got 4:20 and counting to go. The intensity to which the Harbor Pirates have been playing this afternoon has not dropped one bit from the opening kickoff.
No, I'm really impressed. I've seen teams over the years in this league just kind of fold up when it gets this bad. And, you know, not fold up, but not play very hard either. These guys, you really think they're in this game, but if you just watch them play after play.
They're right there. They answer the bell every time. They come to the line of scrimmage like they are right now.
Set, down, no offside.
No blocking.
Oh, get it. Preston makes the reception, but makes it for a loss after the bobble.
Good concentration by Preston. He let that thing get close in on his shoulder pads. So it hit shoulder pads, popped up, but he was able to keep that concentration and blast through that pigskin and get it inside before the rest of the defense was going to show up on him, and it showed up in a big hurry.
Wonder if Preston knows who Tommy McDonald was.
I do.
I do.
I mean, but
I wonder if he does. I mean, because Tommy McDonald was a little guy too, and
yeah,
ended up in the Hall of Fame.
That's right. And when Stanford had, oops, sorry, wrong team.
Oh, that's okay. What was his name? The little guy.
Randy Vataha.
Right, exactly.
He
yeah,
caught passes from Plunkett for.
Yeah, terrific.
Actually, his other.
I mean, I like Preston out there. I'm impressed with Preston.
I like that.
Sergeant Preston, the Yukon. Nothing there. Clock burner at this point. Kids are getting ready for the dance now.
Jeff Camperud right in there with the tackle. And there's many Mariners that fly into the ball. As soon as I identify who has it, they're just going for the tackle.
Well, we almost departed tradition for our player of the game because it became very interesting how Marcus Chavez, in a big-time losing cause, has maintained his cool and kicked and thrown and run and even had a reception this afternoon for the Pirates, and still is playing there with very little time left and even less hope than that. But our tradition is to give the player of the game to a player from the winning team, and this afternoon we have selected.
Well, we've got Ryan Stevens, the running back, who's just had a fantastic afternoon for the Aptos Mariners. Just had 4 touchdowns, probably well into the century figure for runs, and very elusive, great running back. Had a very good, and even a short day at the office when you consider how long football games go.
Yep, and he did it in inside 3/4 of work. And that punt slides away to the left. To the right rather. Stenison gets a fairly decent result out of it. But it'll be the Mariners' ball with less than 2 minutes to play in the game.
Number 3, Brian McGinnis touching that ball down. The last pass that was incomplete was thrown to Oscar, who's normally the tight end, and we saw him on a couple of patterns earlier. With the rush that Aptos has had on all afternoon, which is causing Chavez to run for his life, literally, they've had to keep him in to block. And boy, when you take the tight end out of the offense, you've taken a big weapon out of anybody's offense.
So it's time to kill the clock here. We have our third quarterback of the game, and a fumble. Recovered by the Pirates. Tony Osgar, or excuse me, that was Ryan Van Kopstoven of Aptos.
Just call him VK, it's a lot easier.
I think that's how you say his name, but if he wants to be called VK, we'll call him VK. VK tries one play, fumbles, and the ball goes to Harvard.
Yeah, because I was out there asking, I said, now I want to be able to pronounce your name correctly on TV. He says, Coach, it's really easy. Just go VK. I said, okay, I can do that. I can handle that one.
So now Joe Carniglia is guided off, exhausted. Looks like he's got a cramp in the hamstring. Hopefully it's not a pull. But he is.
Yeah, he's grabbing for that thing. That's I'm going to pray for just cramping up.
Yeah, let's just call it a cramp and leave it at that for now. Harbor kids have had enough trouble this afternoon. It's 1:16 left in the game. Pirates on a fumble recovery. Chavez stays out there. Sandoval, what's he lining up as? In the slot. Interesting.
He's the U-back or the up-back, H-back, whatever they call him.
I don't know what they call that. Oh, picked off. Intended for McGinnis.
And he's
picked off by David Steele. And he's going all the way. Touchdown Aptos. They now have 60 points.
And now I'm going to be all over Dorfman, so he didn't give me those final numbers on the one game.
The one game. Nobody knows.
Gives me great numbers all the way other. Gives me one game, and how in the world he managed to pop free and go all the way down, tippy-toeing down the sidelines, I'll never know, but Steele did it for the touchdown.
Never got it, huh?
Never got it. Got every other stat known in the world. For
most touchdowns, most points game.
Oh, you found it.
No, one, that's a player. Brady had 30 points in one game.
And that was against Santa Cruz. That's why I was wondering, you know, if Stevens had 4 or 5. He had a few today, that's for darn sure.
$61 to nothing. That's where it should end with 41 seconds left.
Yeah, this game today's not a total loss if you're a Harbor Pirate football fan in all of the senses. As the game prior to this, the junior varsity game, the Harbor Pirates were able to get a last-second touchdown to come on top of the Aptos Mariners. I believe the final score was 41-35 in a whale of a football game.
I bet.
Boy, these guys are, I don't know who played defense for either one of those squads, but the offenses were just going.
Cody Townsend was in that game?
Yeah.
How did he do?
He did just fine. He was a quarterback, Jamie Townsend's son, quarterbacking, probably future quarterback for the Mariners. He did well, threw the ball well, engineered it. Did a great job. Hey, if you figure we're in a family affair type thing, we've got the Townsends. Well, you've got the Walters. Stu Walters, who was here watching the game earlier. Kevin Walters and Matt Walters, all quarterbacks for the Aptos Mariners, and they're somewhere in there. They're in the top 10 career passing leaders for the Mariners, and in the right order. Stu, the oldest, followed by Kevin, the middle one, and Matt, the youngest, as they rank out. But today's not a total loss. As you're looking for the future, you talked about it before. These Harbor Pirates have done a fine job. They've been disciplined. They've not made too many mistakes, a couple costly turnovers, but their future is bright.
Physical mistakes, a fumble, but you know the mental mistakes of jumping off sides, not being set, not once. I don't remember them being off sides once, either direction.
Nope.
That says a lot.
That's huge because in high school ball, so many times you see a lot of offsides. Just not disciplined, not knowing what count to go on, and they've done a great job. They're not all
They had a couple of holding penalties, but that's usually physical. You know, that's because you're just getting your what kicked, and you got to do something about it. So you got to cheat a little.
Oh, sure, and the coaches will teach that. Look at it. If you want to save your quarterback's life, grab him, hold him, and tackle him.
Yeah.
Quarterback will thank you, even though he may lose 10, 15 yards on the hold.
Not everybody can do a pancake block.
No, especially when you're outsized by 50 to 60 pounds.
Well, this game's going away. 16 seconds and winding down. The Pirates will try it one more time. Should get this play off. We're at 6. And this will be it. That's it. Final score, Aptos 61, Harbor nothing. Our player of the game is Ryan Stevens of the Aptos Mariners. And we'll try and talk with Ryan when we come back. Well, Ryan Stevens was supposed to be our player of the game and is our player of the game, but for his own personal reasons, I guess a little bit of shyness and his own nature, and maybe because of the nature of the game, which after all was a rout, he decided he'd rather not, unless he could bring all his team members with him. We said, hey, if you win a big one down the road, we'll be glad to let you do that, but there's no reason that you have to talk to us. Go back and enjoy the victory with your friends. So we do congratulate him, because he did have a terrific game at 4 touchdowns and so many yards that Price Waterhouse is still trying to figure them all out. So, Kurt, you have some people to thank as well while we kind of say, good job, Ryan. Sorry you couldn't be with us. Sorry you couldn't be with us, dude, but it's okay. See you the next time.
Well, Whiting Food Services, On the Boardwalk, Rudolph Monty Foundation, and Scarborough Lumber are our 3 major sponsors for this year's Game of the Week, and we'd like to thank them for their contributions and their caring concern for the young high school athletes that will be participating in all the games that we're going to do for the SCCAL. The Aptos Mariners, great job all the way around, offense and defense. And the Harbor Pirates, you know, it's kind of the Cubs saying wait till next year, but next year could be a very big year for them.
Yeah, nothing else to say about the game. 61-0. Aptos wins it. We pulled out every stat